And we're live.
We're live.
Happy Wednesday, everybody. Jenny Townsend here, Music Compound for Lunch and Learn series. My special guest today is Jillian Polk. She also goes by Jill. We are both Mooney alums, which is super cool. Recently connected. Jill is a recent graduate from Belmont University, so she's going to be sharing her college journey with us. We're going to be hosting a workshop in April, so we thought it'd be fun to kind of give you some highlights and tell you a little bit what we're going to be doing, what to expect, share some really cool tips. This is really great for juniors and seniors in high school right now that have an interest in a career within the music industry, and that doesn't mean that you have to be on stage singing. So that's what's really, really cool about today's Lunch and Learn, along with the workshop that we're going to be hosting in April. So definitely save this, like this, give us a heart, and share this with your friends if you have anybody that is interested in having a career in the music industry as well. So welcome.
Yes, thank you. I'm so happy to be here. Oh my goodness.
Well, we're excited to have you. So tell our viewers a little bit about you, and then we'll go from there. So.
Sure. Okay, so I am a Sarasota native, born and raised here, and I started taking voice lessons when I was 7. So I've loved music. I'm a vocal musician, and I play keys as well. And I've always known that that's what I wanted to do. And so by the time I was, a junior or senior in high school, I started the application process and ended up in Nashville, Tennessee. And I graduated from Belmont in 2019. My degree is a bachelor's of music, and my emphasis was commercial music, and commercial music is, I know everyone knows, but like
when she first told this to me, commercial music, I thought she was doing commercials, so I had to ask her, what is commercial music? So explain what commercial music is, because I think it's important for people to understand.
Yes, oh my goodness, it is. It's this umbrella term for anything that's not classical. So, and it encompasses everything from jazz to bluegrass to pop, rock, soul. So it's like a term for what's popular, relevant today. But yes, it's anything other than classical music.
Got it. Okay.
So, which I didn't really know either, and that's also why we want to do this, is
right? Because
there's so much lingo, and it all can be very overwhelming and confusing. So, so my major was bachelor's in music, commercial music with a music business emphasis. And now I'm a young industry person. I work at CSAC in Nashville, Tennessee, where Belmont's located. I had that job within 2 weeks of graduating, so I moved right into it, and managed, thankfully, to also keep the job during the pandemic. So so just riding that wave out and enjoying it, and
that's awesome.
Thanks,
very
Jenny.
cool.
Oh my gosh.
Very cool. And you were performing prior to the pandemic happening, right?
Yes.
In Nashville. Okay.
Yes, I was kind of like my office life by day, and then enjoyed performing and being on stage at night. The pandemic obviously put that on pause for lots of folks, but that was what I wanted to do, and I was doing it.
That's awesome. Very cool. Awesome. And if you have questions too while we're going through our workshop or this Facebook Live, just drop a comment as well. We can see the comments there, and we can answer any of the questions. So what we're going to be talking about in our workshop, Navigating Your College Career in April, is college map. So what are the colleges you want to attend? Where are they? What are their top 3 degrees? Different career paths. We always talk about, you don't have to be on stage. There's lighting, there's sound engineers, there's stage managers, there's sound technicians. There's so many different careers within the music industry that a lot of people don't know or even know they exist as well. So we're going to be talking that. Do you want to mention any of them that maybe you didn't know when you were going through that process?
Sure, absolutely. Well, it just like Jenny mentioned too, that there's so much on and off stage. Like I didn't music composition was an area that I wasn't very familiar with prior. I didn't even know that you could study that. And then audio engineering, and one of our panelists completed her master's actually in audio engineering at Belmont, and she's going to speak to us more about that. But those were two areas that, I mean, great careers, but you're not on stage, you're behind the scenes, but the work couldn't be done without these.
Exactly. So, and that's what we want to do, is we want to expose you to a lot of different industry careers as well, so that you can make a good living, you can have fun and be part of music, which is what many of us love. So we're going to be doing, like I said, that college map, where we're going to have a map of the U.S., different colleges, programs, degrees, and then we'll be talking about what's trending, like what degrees are trending right now, what should you be looking into, what could you be doing now to prepare for those. So I think that's really, really important, because the audition process doesn't just start like a month or two before, right?
You're right, Jenny. No, it starts like a year and a half before.
Right. So we're going to be talking about that audition process as well. Each school has a different audition process.
Right, and it'll vary.
Every degree has a different audition process.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Depending on your instrument, oh my goodness, and depending on what you are looking to do, it's all different.
Right. So how many colleges did you apply to?
I applied to 12 and had live auditions at 8.
Okay.
So, and COVID may change that for some people, but we'll definitely also be able to explore like what schools are having live auditions, what you can plan for regarding that, whether you'll be learning how to do a video submission to schools that you are interested in. So we also can explore that as well, what auditioning for schools of music look like in a pandemic.
Right. And how many different songs and different cuts as well, because I've learned that in the past as well. So Can you talk about, because you did 2 songs for each one, or?
My rule of thumb, and something I definitely want to talk about with during the program is my rule of thumb was have 6 songs in your back pocket that were polished and ready to go. So I had 4 commercial songs that varied in tempo, that varied in style. Then I had 2 classical songs, and that was they suggest, keep those really polished so you're ready to go, memorized. And I was able to use those essentially for each school, but you got to have those songs solid,
Right.
And
so 6 songs is what they should have.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And not all, some should be classical, some should be contemporary, or depending on what you want to focus on.
Right. And every school has different audition requirements. So we'll definitely go through the big ones, go through their programs, look at what you need to prepare to be ready for that day.
Right. Okay, and then you were also mentioning to me as well that some of the colleges, it's one thing to get to their music program, but you have to also get to their other college as well, right?
Right,
so just because you get into the music program doesn't mean that you're actually getting accepted to college.
Absolutely, right. It has to be both. And same kind of goes for scholarships, which we'll talk about. You have to go to their academic admissions office, and then for some, and then for other scholarships, you're going to your specific program advisor, you're going to the School of Music. It all kind of depends, and it can be a lot to navigate all of that. So yes, but there are 2 separate entities you have to be accepted to.
So this sounds like a lot of work to me.
Yeah.
How did you stay organized, and you had someone that was assisting you, right? That helped navigate through this. And then as far as the deadlines, do you have all the deadlines, or how did you know? Because they all vary, right, depending on the college and what semester you want to get in. Can you talk about that as well?
Absolutely. I had a giant spreadsheet. I had a huge spreadsheet that I had to open all the time on my computer, and I had every deadline, and that you have to have some sort of thing, and also I did have someone helping me, and that's what Jenny and I want to do here is help you guys, because if you plan on applying to more than one school of music, it becomes a lot very fast. So that's why we're here. We're here to help.
Is there a rule of thumb of how many colleges you should apply for within the degree that you want?
It's a good question. I would say it kind of depends. But 12 was a little too much. Maybe don't do 12, but anywhere between 5 and perhaps 10 max.
Okay.
It's probably manageable.
Okay, with a lot of organization.
Lots of organization.
Okay. And then as far as the audition process, what is a good time to start? If I'm going to go to college I can't say next August, but August of 2022, am I too late, or should I just start now?
Start now. And it's not too late. No, start now.
Start now. Okay. And what's the first thing I should do?
first thing you should do, first you need to find the programs that are best suited to you. And you need to have at least an understanding of what you might want to do in school. If it's music, awesome. Look at where you want to live, if there is a school in that area, and if it has an awesome music program, which is kind of what we're doing, like with the map. We want to help guide that. But that's the first thing you should do, is make sure that you have an idea of what you are passionate about, what you want to spend 4 years really sinking your teeth into.
Right, and paying for.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
Is there a lot of scholarships available for these programs?
Yes and no.
Okay.
Yes and no. And again, it kind of depends on the school, but I will say one thing I did that was very helpful was apply for a lot of private scholarships.
Okay.
And through being organized and also through being very vocal about what I needed financially, I was able to work with admissions, and I was able to work with Belmont School of Music to help fund it. But they're not just giving them out, you know.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes total sense. Well, and those are things that people need to start thinking about now. And when I think of some of our juniors and seniors that are taking lessons and they want to go do this, they haven't even really got serious about some of their lessons, or they're not really even thinking what they should be doing today and how they should be working really hard and really honing in on that craft and really documenting, like, what are the wins and what are they really good at and what are they passionate about. I think, side note, with COVID, it was do what you love. Life is too short. So if you really want to do music and you really want to go into that type of industry, find a way. Find what you love. Find the schools. Do the research. Ask questions. And start navigating that. You know, I think people should go to college on one hand. Another way, I'm like, find what you're passionate about. If it's a trade school, or if it's starting your own business, or, I mean, if it's specific to being a doctor or an attorney, yeah, I definitely think you should go to college. You know what I mean? And if you want to be a professor and you want to be an educator, you should go to college. So I just think that some of them are just lacking the knowledge of knowing what's out there.
Sure. So
did you have a job, or were you singing at a church, or how were you being exposed to music other than your private lessons in high school?
Absolutely. So I was the lead singer in a rock band.
Okay.
I also, oh my goodness, I sang at church. I cantored at St. Martha's Church since I was young. I had various recitals and participated in local talent events. But like you said, I mean, all of that was important in building some sort of resume, because you also have to have that. You have to have your repertoire list, songs and pieces that you've worked on to even present to a college. So you have to be ready. You have to be thinking about, what can I do now that I will thank myself for 5 years from now? So yeah, you have to think ahead. And also, if you want to do music in school, and if you love music and you're already working on it, it's not easy. There's nothing easy about it. Nothing. But it is so incredibly rewarding, which is probably why you're even thinking about it in the first place, studying it and pursuing it seriously. So take it seriously, you know?
With what you're saying there, you had told me, we were talking on the phone, about having your degree in music has led to a lot of opportunities, and people have actually been able to connect with you, or you've been able to connect with companies, their leaders and everything, because you have that interest in music. Can you speak about that, or just say whatever you told me before, because I can't remember completely.
Oh my gosh, you're so sweet. Yes, absolutely. Okay. So I was one of the lucky ones who had amazing parents who said, you go girl, go to school for music, go follow your dreams, and it has worked. But I know that that's not always the case. But I can attest, it has been to my advantage to have a background in music, because it differentiates you. It really does. And even I'm actually in the process now of applying for law schools, and that has been, that's what they want to hear about. They want to hear about my background in music, what I've been doing, and why, and and about the transition, and so it's
a way for people to connect with you.
Absolutely, yes.
I think that's what music is really great, connecting people, and then to the lyrics, but not even to the lyrics, to the music and to other people, and it always makes people feel good.
Right, the universal language, right. It even for, no matter what you do with the degree after school, it will serve you in some way for sure. And having gone through college and having been out for a couple years and also seeing what my peers are doing, I can attest. It's a good background to have, for sure.
No, I love that. Okay, so your parents are really supportive.
Yes.
So we have parents that are really supportive. Hey, my child has an interest in music. They love it. We're going to go for it. And then some of them are like, no, that's not going to pay the bills. That's not going to really be rewarding for you. You need to go and do this. Your parents are really supportive. But did you have friends where their parents weren't that supportive and like, what are they doing now? Or do they wish they would have went to this? Or is there any of that going on?
Sure. And you know what I was thinking about, Jenny? And tell me if you relate to this at all. I was this morning, like, I wonder if I asked those parents very politely and very gently, of course, if they are using their undergraduate degree now. And it doesn't have to be this end-all, be-all. You can really do a lot with a music degree, just as you can with a marketing degree or a philosophy degree. You will find something. And if you are tenacious enough to be pursuing music at all, especially in this climate, you're a go-getter enough to figure it out. You'll find a way, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
So that's what I would just encourage any parent to think about. And I was thrilled with my college experience. And I do have student debt. I'm not sitting here like debt-free, but I wouldn't have done it any other way. So, yeah.
That's
lucky
awesome.
girl.
That's
Thank
awesome.
you.
I had very supportive parents as well. My parents were amazing, and I'm so thankful. Did you go to St. Martha's as well?
Yes. Did
okay,
you?
I went to St. Martha's,
Oh
but when it was downtown.
Oh,
and the old
right.
campus.
It's Sarasota
Military Academy now.
Okay.
Yeah. So it seems like we had like a similar upbringing. So awesome. So this is just like a sneak peek of what we're going to be covering at our workshop. So to remind you again, it's going to be April 17th and 24th. Really hoping those are the dates. So it's going to be from 10 a.m. on one day till noon, and then another day it's going to be from 10 to 1. We're also going to be incorporating some panelists, so industry leaders, people that work for organizations here that either do sounding, sound engineering, stage marketing, fundraising, promotions and marketing as well is another huge need for the arts organizations. And not even that, if you're an independent artist, you need some help with booking and things like that. So we're going to have a couple panelists that you guys can speak with. And then Jill's also recruiting some recent grads. Do you want to tell them about some of the recent grads that are going to be joining us?
Yeah, absolutely. So just to name two, my dear friend Grace Reardon, she actually just graduated this past year with her master's from Belmont in audio engineering. Had amazing internships, has had a wonderful industry experience. So I'm bringing her on to talk about that and what it's like to be also a female in what still is a pretty male-dominated area, and how she's killing it and stuff. So she's awesome.
That's awesome.
And then I'm bringing my other dear friend. Her name's Corianne Silvers. She, like me, has a background in commercial music business. And she currently teaches voice. She's an incredible vocalist, pianist, performer, and is also just really killing it in Nashville. And both of these women set an example for me. So,
that's awesome.
I'm excited to bring them on to share.
Yeah, exactly. So this workshop is going to be live in person here at Music Compound, but there's also going to be a virtual component as well, where we'll be bringing in these industry leaders, also with the recent grads. And if you're out there and you have any value to add, definitely let us know. We'd like to incorporate you, or if you're interested in attending, definitely let us know. Tickets are required, so it's $60 for both days, or it's $40 for one day as well. And you'll be able to network. You're going to meet other people within the same industry that are wanting the same thing. Jill's going to be talking about, how to really plan it out. We may even have a college admissions person or a counselor as well to come here and assist. The goal is to give you the tools so that you can navigate your college career efficiently, organized, and you can make the best choice. And this will be great for not only our students, but for parents as well, because a lot of times, they don't always understand the process either.
Sure.
So it will be recorded so that parents can go ahead and watch it in the future. So that's all happening in April. I do have a really cool workshop that we just scheduled that's going to be happening into March. It's called Modern Musician. And that is going to be led by my cousin and very well-known flautist. Hopefully I said that right. Her name is Gina, and so that is happening end of March, and that's going to be from 1 to 3 p.m. It's Modern Musician, and it's talking about marketing yourself as a musician, how to use social media as the platform, generating revenue through YouTube. She has a huge YouTube following. She has great courses now as well. So as a musician, you have got to be innovative. You've got to be smart, and you've got to work with your skill set and your talent and really work hard to get it out there, to be recognized and to get paid for it. So a lot of the focus is basically helping you turn your music into money and following your passion and doing what you want to do. And we're here to help you with that. So whether it's the Modern Musician Workshop in March or navigating your college career in April, we're here for you. Registration is open. Call our studio, 941-379-9100. And if you have any questions, shoot those over to info@musiccompound. Do we have anything else to share?
Just thank you for having me.
You're so welcome. You're so welcome.
And you can probably tell how excited we are too. Like, we're thrilled. We want to help you. We want to be a resource for you. So yeah, so let's get it going.
Yeah, exactly. And if you want to do us a favor, like this, share, or comment this video feed so that we can raise awareness to all the individuals that are needing this support. We hope you guys have a great day, and we'll see you soon. Bye. Bye.